Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/pbt and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/pbt today. Now. Right fucking now.
So one of the biggest rating hits of the coronavirus, aside from these briefings, has been a show on Netflix called Tiger King.
Yeah.
And the man who's the star of this is a former zoo owner who's serving a 22-year prison sentence. He's asking you for a pardon, saying he was unfairly convicted. Your son yesterday jokingly said that he was going to advocate for it, and I was wondering if you've seen the show and if you have any thoughts on pardoning Joe Exotic.
Which son? It must be Don. 22 years for what? What did he do?
He allegedly hired someone to murder an animal rights activist, but he said that he didn't do that, and he was.
Do you think he didn't do it? Are you on his side?
Well, are
you recommending a pardon? I'll take a look.
Listen, I've had so many people on my case asking me to watch some show called Tiger King. I watched about 6 episodes of this show, and I couldn't even believe what I was looking at. White people! What's with you and wild animals? Leave them animals alone. The show is crazy, but it's so crazy you kind of keep watching. One thing I will say, there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that lady's husband is Tiger Sashimi right now. Take care, and I hope you find something better to watch.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Peanut Butter and Triggered. I'm Scott, joined by my main man.
Jason, what's up?
And
Hakoba.
Today, we're going to be talking about a few things. Some monthly games on your PlayStation/Xbox consoles. We're going to talk news, which there's a little bit. And then we're going to talk about the new PlayStation 5 controller they've officially announced. I think it's called the DualSense. And what we like and or dislike about the current gen controllers, and we might get in a fight. Who knows? This might be the last episode of PBT ever after we get in this big broken out fight about controllers. You never know. But yeah, we're going to start with the PDW. Jacob, what are you playing, doing, and or watching?
Just hit Diamond in Apex. Thank fucking God, dude. It's been a grind.
What are the rankings?
There's Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and then Top 500.
Wow, so you're pretty good.
I don't think I'm that good, but I'm gonna get signed next week, so.
Well, let me ask you this: do you really have to be skilled to get Diamond, or is it about putting time in?
No, you have to fucking work your ass off to get Diamond. It's super fucking annoying.
Okay.
I think it's like that's a weird thing that they have like rankings in, because it's a battle royale, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's like it's not like, well, I don't know. I haven't played PUBG in a long time, but I know. So basically, like where I'm in Diamond, you start off with negative like 30 or 40 RP, like points, and let's just say you were to get 0 kills the entire game, and then get top 2. Like, let's say you don't even kill the last squad, you don't win. You get like plus 4 RP. Where if you got like 5 kills and then won the game, you get like 100 RP, but it costs like maybe 900 to 1,000 points to get Diamond. So I'm Diamond 4, then it goes Diamond 3, 2, 1, and then Masters 4, 3, 2, 1, and then top 500.
Yeah, interesting. I used to play. That sounds very similar. I used to play League, and you had your ELO and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was silver. I really think that my skill level kind of caps probably like mid silver. I don't know if I'd ever be better than that. But I was mostly bronze just because I didn't put enough time into it. But the hardest thing about League is it's just like what you were saying, where they had the ranking system. So 5, 4, bronze 5, bronze 4, bronze 3. But when you jump from bronze 5 to bronze 4, you had 5 games. You had to play 5 games. They were your, I think they were called trial games or something like that. I'm sure someone's going to tell me wrong, but, and you had to win 3 of them. And so if you got shitty teams, terrible.
Like, it says 2.1% of people in the U.S. are Diamond.
Wow. Look at you go. And you're here doing Peanut Butter and Triggered.
Yeah, I know. I'm being a loser. So I've been playing that. I just bought Kylie Sims.
on PC.
Yeah, for her MacBook.
Nice.
Fuck MacBook. I hate Apple MacBook laptops, anything except for phones. But
MacBooks in terms of laptops, if you want a laptop for productivity, it's like really great.
yeah, and if you want to waste a lot of money on overpriced parts too, it's great.
I have a Mac that I still use from 2009. It still runs great.
You know what's crazy? The most expensive computer you can buy from Apple is like $35,000, and when they broke down like how much it would actually cost in real life, it was like $10,000.
Yes, not surprised. Don't get me wrong. I think they're overpriced too, but they're also really high quality, especially the laptops. Like, if you're in a school, MacBooks are like amazing.
That's
so light.
true.
They're small. They have a really long battery life. They're made of a nice aluminum. Like, but I understand where you're coming from too.
Yeah, I guess a hardware standpoint, but like an ingenuity standpoint, yeah, they're kind of like top of.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just way overpriced. But anyway, sorry, I interrupt you.
No, you're fine. And then just finished Lion King.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, no, Lion. I keep wanting to say Tiger King.
The movie, or I mean, the thing we were supposed to watch was Tiger King. You weren't supposed to watch Lion King, Jacob.
I know. I said Tiger King. Fuck. Damn it.
But you really did just watch Lion King, didn't you?
I did say Lion King.
You said Lion King because I was thinking like the new remake thing.
Yeah.
The live action
F-.
It's not an F-. It's a fucking A+.
Fuck you. It's an F-. Kiss my ass.
It wasn't an A-. It wasn't an F-. It wasn't A+. It was like a B. B-. But anyway.
It is an A+. And then that's it. I picked up dog poop today, if that counts for doing, but I literally just been sitting on my ass. That's about it. Scotty?
Hey, what have I been doing? I got Resident Evil 3. Picked that up last night. Put about 40 minutes into it. I like it a lot so far. Definitely very similar to Resident Evil 2. But more. I feel like it's more open world. You're on the streets of Raccoon City more, and you're kind of going building to building. I'll get back to you guys on if that's good or not. Playing a little bit of Battlefield just for an online fix because I'm not doing anything else right now with this quarantine. And then lastly, 600 Pound Life. Been grinding out 600 Pound Life. Probably watched about 5 or 6 episodes this week. It's a great show. I know Jay was saying that this season's terrible. I like the season, but the season's definitely filled with failures. But I kind of like the failures. Like, the people who fail are more interesting to me. For example, there is one lady who I believe was like 650 pounds, and like she drives all the way to this dude's office. It's like a 6-hour drive or something, maybe longer. And he's like, "All right, well, you have to do this diet." And she takes a diet. She's like, "Okay, great." She goes home and she says that she loses the diet papers on the way home. Like, she leaves them in this hotel. And as opposed to like a regular adult who would just call the doctor and be like, "Hey," like the next day, "I lost my diet." She's like, "Oh, well, I guess it's lost. So it's just a month lost." And she refused to call him. And then she missed her appointment and refused to call him again. So finally goes in and tells him the whole time that she didn't have the paper. She said that she was doing her own diet plan, which consisted of eating pizza, and she lost or she gained a bunch of weight. And then she said she lost him again a month later. And then she lost him a total of 4 times, she said. They emailed them to her, and she said she lost the email and the printout.
Maybe she ate them.
You're probably right, dude.
She ate the email.
That's not on the diet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. At the very end, it said, "Please eat this copy."
Okay. Doctor Now is always like, "Pizza is not on the diet."
One thing that I feel like, I don't know if you noticed this, Jay, but I feel like Dr. Now has like lost a lot of his patience. I feel like he's like Simon Cowell now. Anyone comes in, he's like always just super pissed at them.
I feel like he was pretty kind the first 3 seasons, and yeah, you're right. He's definitely like, his patience is worn so thin to this point where this season he started off really nice. and he's eventually like lost his patience again. I feel like he took an empathy training or something like that, and then was like, I don't know these people's plights. And then the next thing he knows, he's like laying into them. Because by the time you get to Ashley T, whose episode I just watched, holy shit,
dude, I'm pumped. I'm halfway through Tommy's, who has that like very fat like wife or fiance, I should say, who refuses to do the diet with him.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll just be doing my own diet. And Dr. Snow's like, you should do this diet. It's a great diet. And she's like, but I could be doing my own diet, which is like just as good. And he's like, no, it's not actually. You should do the diet with him.
Well, and she was like, this is for him. This isn't for me. And it was like,
exactly.
What?
So we're halfway through, and well, the most ridiculous thing, and another reason I think this is a good season of 600 Pound Life, is because there's different things happening. There's that one episode where the dude like met a woman online, and they were like talking for a year, and then she showed up and just moved in with him. Then they got in a car accident. That was interesting. You had the lady losing her papers. Now you have this guy whose fiance is on her second 600 pound plus fiance. Her first 600 pound fiance died.
Of what?
Of obesity.
Like heart disease and...
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you...
How do you find... Dude, it's crazy finding a husband that's also 600 pounds with you, but finding another 600 pound husband, I feel like that's got to be like... There's got to be like a website for that where they can like intermingle.
There are.
That doesn't surprise me. What I think it is, to be honest with you, is... I don't know. I haven't seen the end of the episode. But I'm sure that she just has an affinity for taking care of people or having people rely on her for everything. And this is just, yeah. But I'm watching that. And of course, I watched The Tiger King, which we can definitely talk about here after Jay does his. What do you got?
So I don't know how you can start an episode of 600 Pound Life and not finish it. The show is so riveting, even with this shitty 8th season, which I'm going to completely disagree with you on. This season is so slow-paced, and you keep expecting some sort of progress, but to see person after person fail after having such an excellent introduction to the season with two people who actually succeed in a really like big way. Pardon the pun.
Are you talking about the brother or the sister?
No, I'm talking about John and Lonnie.
Yeah, the best. They're
great. And they have such a good attitude towards the whole thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to today's episode, we're recording on April 8th, so it actually airs tonight, I think. Her name is Ashley T. I'm not giving away anything crazy because you have to watch it, but let's just say that she's not camera shy. She's been on reality television a couple of times. So
I'm excited.
With that being said, she has very interesting sessions with Miss Lola Clay, who, if you are a fan of the show, is one of the psychologists that Dr. Now, who's the physician, the bariatric surgeon, actually, that is the main person in the show that everybody goes and sees. He refers people for psychotherapy, and this is one of the main psychologists. Anyways, very, very good watch. I'm not going to give anything away because even though I said this season sucks, it may have drawn me back in.
Did you notice that that they had a male psychologist or whatever on?
Yeah. Dr. Paradise?
Yeah, he's in Hoarders as well.
Fuck you.
Yeah, he's like one of the main physicians or whatever psychiatrists in Hoarders, which is where I noticed him from. So he's kind of jumping around in TLC shows or whatever those shows.
That's crazy. Maybe I shouldn't use the word crazy.
I'm a total sociopath.
I think that all of the TLC programming, even though I haven't seen I shouldn't say all of it, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen quite a bit of them. For some reason, it's so good. I'm maybe the biggest fan of TLC programming. I also did watch a bunch of other things. I'm currently up to speed on Westworld season 3. Scott, I can't remember. Have you seen any of Westworld?
I watched. It's funny. My wife and I looked at the because we were going through what we wanted to watch last night. We were on episode 5 when we stopped, but our plan is to pick back up.
Yeah.
Or actually, we're just going to restart the whole thing.
I would recommend
we're currently working through Curb. I think I just watched the first episode of season 8. I want to say the new season.
Yeah.
The newest season. Where he wears the "Make America Great"
Yeah.
hat. Let me just tell you, that first episode had me laughing for like 2 days.
Oh, it's a great episode.
I thought it was so hilarious how he's like talking about, he calls it the big goodbye. Basically, he avoids someone at a party all night, and then right before he leaves, he goes and says, "Oh, dang it! I'm so sorry. We missed each other, but it's great. It's great to see you." But the guy's like, "Are you trying to do the big goodbye to me?" Like he picks up on it or whatever. So they have lunch, and he doesn't want to go to lunch with him, so he just wears a "Make America Great" hat, and no one in LA wants to be seen with him. And so he just puts this hat on all around town, getting people to leave him alone, which is really funny.
I wish I watched more of these shows like you guys.
Watch him.
Yeah, but it's not anime.
Jesus.
I have rules now.
So, anyways, I'm currently up to speed on Westworld. The way that the season's shaping up, I don't know how much of it is going to tie in. Well, everything's going to tie in with the previous seasons, but I don't think in the same way, because they're really making an emphasis on the season of this series being completely about simulations and virtual worlds, and how real does it make somebody to have their consciousness in a physical body. So that's super weird. It's super sci-fi.
Black Mirror.
It kind of is. It's shot extremely well. There's so much symbolism in each frame. There's also the way that the makeup and costumes are done too. Even there's symbolism in that too. So with that being said, I would say that again, this show is shaping up to be like in the A range so far for the season. I haven't been watching much else besides like shitty reality. We obviously watched Tiger King. I had to start all over because when I was watching it for the first time, I really got like maybe 3 or 4 episodes in and I wasn't feeling it. So I stopped. So I had to restart the whole thing just to make sure I had the continuity of everything.
How long ago did you start?
Like when it first came out.
When was that?
Like basically the beginning of quarantine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys, you all want to talk about the Tiger King?
Well, hang on. So
Sorry.
Katie and I also watched Sex Education that's on Netflix. We watched the whole like seasons 1 and 2 all in a row. So that one, I hate the fucking...
In one sitting?
Yeah, I hate the main character. The show is good, and it's like almost as diverse as like a 1990s after school special. So it's not so much in like a pandering way, but like you kind of get like a little hint of that. But I do appreciate how diverse the cast is. The main character, I really hate that. I'd really like to punch that guy because he's a total asshole to everybody, and they keep building him up to be this like wise / kind person when he's actually not. And we see several instances of this in the first 2 seasons. So we'll see how it turns out, and maybe it was done on purpose to show that he isn't perfect, but I really, really dislike this kid. Aside from that, I'm pretty sure that's all I've watched. I started playing Grand Theft Auto again, and it's actually pretty damn fun. The only reason I picked it back up is because I can't sleep at night, so I stay awake until like 4 a.m. playing, and I just play all kinds of different jobs and stuff so I can make more money to buy cars and do kind of crazy shit.
Live your life.
That's it. Yeah, I'll just live my life. But that's actually it as far as my playing, doing, watching.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks. Shall we get into Tiger King?
Let's do it.
All right, Jacob, you can't really participate since you only watch The Lion King.
What?
Yeah, you can't really participate since you only watch Lion King.
That's racist.
It kind of is racist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pick on me?
Oh no, I was talking about races of cats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still racist.
Yeah.
Species.
Yeah.
Yeah, speciest.
Go on.
Carol Baskin fucking did it. There's no doubt in my mind. That bitch fed her fucking husband to the lions. And was it Kitty Kitty Meow Meow?
Just Hello Kitty or something like that.
Or Hello
Come Here,
Kitty?
Kitty. Here, I don't know what the hell it's called.
Best song in the world. Or Here Kitty Kitty.
Yeah.
That shit can't be written, dude. That dude himself can't be written. I think he's batshit crazy and probably not a good man. I do know that his.
You think Joe's a bad man?
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Give me admin powers. I need to kick you out real quick.
How do you not have admin powers?
It's only us.
Oh, whoops.
So his my wife and I were both reading this article about his sister came out and was talking about Joe. Apparently, it mentioned Joe, but I completely missed it that he has a son. Which they don't talk about at all. And actually, he's featured in a couple scenes. He does work at the farm sometimes, but they're basically pretty much estranged. But that Joe has done terrible things to cats. When the cats dies, he freezes them and sells the bodies to people who want to stuff them. Or the other thing he does is he's been known to spray them with fire extinguishers.
Jesus.
For no reason, like not as a defense. He's just fucking around with them because they won't do what he wants. That kind of stuff. I don't think that Joe's a particularly upstanding man.
He beat the shit out of one of them with a cane because it bit his foot. Which it bit his foot, but he's really heavy-handed with those cats, and he might be lucky that he's in prison.
That was self-defense. I don't know about that one.
He's pretty heavy-handed with. He killed alligators in that fire.
No, he didn't do it.
He 100% did that, dude. If you
No
look at
way.
his walk in the picture, like I looked at that guy's walk, I was like, oh fuck that. That's got to be him.
I think
the way he's walking.
The guy, his name is like John Richmond or something like that. The reality TV producer. That sounds like Nelson. It sounds like he's talking out of his nose.
Yeah.
He totally has. He has a complete like how he did it, and like yeah, he knows that Joe Exotic did it, and he has a really good reason why he did it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was the perfect. It had to happen. Everything. Lord, that show is so out there and has all these twists and turns. What would you guys say was maybe the most interesting part of the show for you?
When they're all asking all the people that they were interviewing, how many wives Doc had, and the guy with the long hair goes, "I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, that was a good part.
That was so funny, dude. They're like, like 2 or 3. Oh, like 7 or 8. Oh, at least 5. I don't give a fuck. That was like all the answers. I was like,
that was a good answer.
I love this guy.
That was good. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the show because he for me, I felt like he actually cared about the cats. And,
oh yeah.
And he feels bad, and it's the same with the dude who has no legs or no leg or whatever it was. I felt like the same situation. It felt like he loved the cats too and was upset that he had to leave them.
I want to know how that no leg guy got. I mean, it's to me this could be like the Hollywood whatever they're doing, but it seemed like he had money at the end, and for what it sounded like Joe was paying everybody, nobody had money.
What do you mean he had money, dude? He lived in a little tiny trailer.
Yeah, you out of your mind?
Did you see what he was driving?
A Hummer that was stolen?
Yeah, the
guy with no legs at the very end?
No, I didn't see what he was driving.
Dude, you know those they look like
a T-Rex or whatever?
Yeah, dude, he's driving one of those. Those are like
Was he driving?
$50,000. Yeah.
What was he driving?
Like the T-Rex thing. I'll link it.
And he had his own trailer to himself. I mean, that seemed like choice of living. That wasn't on the zoo or anything. This was just like where he lived.
Here you
Dude,
go.
he had money.
That's what he was
That's
driving.
what he was driving.
No, that's not what he was driving. It was way nicer than that.
It was something like that.
It was like that. It's like, you know, the like really new ones. I can't. I'd have
That
to
looks
show
like
you.
Darkwing Duck's motorcycle. My favorite part was when Joe Exotic was talking about what makes a man gay if he watches porn. And he was like, when you watch porn, do you want to watch one with the guy with the little dick? And the guy was like, no. He was like, well, then you ain't so straight, are you? And then, like, during, like, episode 5 or something
totally
like that.
Butchered it.
Whatever. During, like, episode 5, turns out he wasn't gay. He was just a meth addict. It was like,
He just loved meth.
oh, he loved meth so much. His teeth were all gone. God, I could have said they were all meth heads.
They were literally all meth heads.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, okay, go ahead.
That part, the part that was like, probably the part that was like the most jaw dropping to me was the part where like Travis killed himself in that like.
Oh yeah.
The footage.
That part was fucking great. Yeah, the footage, because I didn't expect it. I did not expect him to kill himself like that, and it was just a perfect angle of that guy, who also, believe it or not, that his tour manager, I can't remember, Joshua or something, he was just recently arrested for stabbing someone with the sword.
Jesus.
But he sees him kill himself, and I was like, oh my god.
And you
whole
know,
time,
that whole reaction was
yeah,
exactly how I would expect that to go, because you wouldn't believe it at first. Like, you couldn't believe it, I don't think.
Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away. I already knew that he was already dead, kind of like 10, 15 minutes in. Probably like 20, 30 minutes in.
to the whole thing.
Oh, because we didn't hear from him or see any confessionals?
1 or 2 episodes, yeah. Because, I mean, he was the only one that they didn't interview.
Yeah. That's a
like,
good call.
the only one the entire time. And when you think about it, they're interviewing his first husband, like, crazy. Not everybody who worked at the zoo, but it seems like some pretty key people in Joe's life. And he wasn't fucking there. Like, I knew something was up. I was like, okay, maybe he killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that whole thing was crazy. It just
Dude, I don't know if I want to know if this also happened for you guys too. Did you notice that her arm was missing up until the point where they like showed it, or like her arm get ripped off? I didn't even notice until I was like, oh shit, she doesn't have a fucking arm.
Yeah, I noticed as soon as that happened. I was like, oh yeah, that's that chick who was being interviewed earlier. Just got her arm ripped off. That scene's really great too. Just that whole thing where he's like, oh fuck. You know, like this, and then of course that meme that's going around, like, this is going to financially wreck me or whatever he says. I'll never financially recover from this. I think
that's not the meme that's going around. The meme that's going around is Joe putting on a fucking EMT jacket.
Yeah, that was
doing
great
a wardrobe change when somebody's arm got ripped off.
He did I noticed that too. I was like, what the fuck? Where did he get an EMT jacket? He just ran in, grabs an EMT jacket, and runs back out.
Joe used to be an EMT.
Oh my god.
So, also, just so you guys know, and yeah, I'm gonna be this dude. His name is Saf Safri. He's been misgendered this whole time. The woman who got her arm ripped off is actually being misgendered the whole time.
All right. So
really?
Scott, you're back in. Jay, we're kicking you from the Discord. Any last words?
Well, that's what he came out and said, and he said that he just wanted people to know.
All right.
That's good.
It's a very easy mistake to make, though.
Well,
yeah, especially because a lot of times the editor's completely disconnected, especially over 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's possible. Again, maybe this isn't true, but it's possible 5 years ago they didn't. Maybe he identified as a woman at that time, or you know, wasn't comfortable with it. Who knows? But either way, whatever. I guess.
Now they're a pirate, and I bet he has a hook.
That whole. I wish you didn't blur it out. When I was watching, I was like, "Don't blur that shit out. I want to see that fucking mangled ass arm."
Yeah,
No.
that is kind of weird that they blurred it out in Netflix.
Yeah,
No.
They should have at least
She's
given
got
a
mangled
disclaimer.
arm. That's like on 600 Pound Life. Whenever we're watching, it spoils it every single time when they get approved for surgery, because at the beginning of the commercial it says this has surgical procedures. I'm like, oh, I guess they're getting the surgery.
Hey, Scott.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell me if you do this too. Whenever Katie and I are watching, they blur out like the fast food, and we try to look at the patterns through the blur, and we try to see what fast food they got. And sometimes we even try to like listen to what they order, because they have to order numbers, because they can't say like, I'll take a McChicken, because that's a trademarked product. So when they get something,
too,
yeah, Yeah.
Which you can tell sometimes by the cup. You know what I noticed a lot of them get is Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen seems to be a popular staple.
So is McDonald's.
Oh,
Oh,
of
and
course.
it's always Pizza Hut. Whenever
Yeah,
they get
they
pizza.
And there's always like so many boxes. I was talking to my in-laws about this, that, you know, like, it's one thing. It doesn't really necessarily surprise me the kinds of foods they eat, because obviously they're eating shitty fast foods and such, but the amount of food they eat honestly never ceases to amaze me. Like that, there's one lady, she ate 2 full pizzas, a big box of wings, like probably maybe 12 or 18 wings, and then she ate like one of those like cookies, and then cheese bread.
Okay.
And that was like 1.
You know what's kind of messed up, though? I feel like I could do that.
Are we still talking about Tiger King?
Sorry.
So this is a true story. A few years back, or me and Jay were working together, and we decided to have, with a friend of ours, we decided to have a burger eat-off contest. See how many, I believe they were just regular cheeseburgers they could eat from McDonald's. So we bought 30 cheeseburgers, I believe it was, and that we were thinking that'd be 15 for each individual. And they were just seeing who could eat more. I think Jay did, I want to say you did 12?
11.
11. Okay.
It was 11 to 8.
He ate 11 cheeseburgers in one sitting.
Yeah, within an hour. Actually, within 40 minutes.
And how did you feel for the next couple days?
Oh, like I had to take a dump. I had to take a dump so bad before I even got home. I had to ask to go take a break.
Yeah.
What's the next season of 600 Pound Life? What number is it going to be?
9.
Yeah.
9? Are you ready for that, Jay?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I have to gain 500 and something pounds, but yeah, I could do it.
Oh, you weigh less than 100 pounds?
No, but it's always like 600 and something, like 670 or something like that.
So, do you know what the biggest person ever was on 600 Pound Life
It's like
was?
890, right?
1,003 pounds.
Who was it?
I don't remember the kid's name, but it was like the kid who lived with his mother, and then his mother died. He was
Was it
super
Che?
whiny. What?
Was it Che?
I don't think so.
Golf cart kid?
Oh, no. Not that guy. He was even bigger than him.
Oh, whoa.
He's dead now. He died recently. The guy. Let's see here. Sean Milliken.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Sean Milliken. Wow, there's actually a Wikipedia page for the list of heaviest people.
Holy shit.
Dude, John Brower Minnick. He was alive from 1941 to 1983. Is said to have weighed 1,400 pounds. Wow.
Dude, at that point, it's not even depressing. It's like he's won.
Yeah.
He's the champion.
Yeah, Sean Milliken was 1,003 pounds.
He lapped other fat people.
That's so large, dude.
Okay, wait, let's not talk about 600 Pound Life. We have Tiger King to talk about.
Yeah. I know you guys were kind of bashing on Joe Exotic, but can we all agree that early Joe Exotic building the zoo before it became kind of this big enclosure actually did care about animals?
Shut up.
Dude, he did. Didn't you not see the little bit at the end? He was I'm not going to say he was Steve Irwin, not even close. But no, he seemed pretty.
He was a magician.
He was he was anti-selling cubs. He was anti-having people pet him. And then he totally just flipped script
out
and did a 180.
Yeah.
Can I tell you guys something crazy? I just typed in Joe Exotic because I was just going to look up his Wikipedia. Number one thing, Trump says he will look into pardoning Tiger King's star Joe Exotic.
Yeah, when I edit this, I'll put that in the very beginning. And OJ thinks that Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Cool.
Imagine that.
I mean, he is kind of like, an expert.
Yeah, if anybody would know, he would know.
But he didn't do it.
But he would know.
Let's take a look at this man, okay? This man is homosexual in the South, which is already a very obviously difficult life, I'm sure. He is a polygamist. He was a traveling magician. with a whole bunch of fucking tigers, and he ran for president.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
In 2016.
Actually, that's where I knew him from originally. I'd seen that video that went public that he was like, "I'm gay, I'm running for president, and I got a gun," or something like that. Whatever he says.
What's a polygamist?
Like
Well,
multiple
it's
wives.
it's like a monogamous, except you see multiple people.
Oh,
You're
I
in a
thought that was just
relationship.
called Mormon.
Just kidding. It wasn't that funny.
That was pretty funny. You hear that whole audience of people I had going?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you.
In the gubernatorial primary, he got 664 votes.
664 votes?
Yeah,
That's not bad.
What a chump.
out of 3,500.
That's not bad.
It's
I
funny
like-
that
Go
I like
for
how
it.
that one time, whoever his campaign manager's like, he didn't even know what a libertarian was, and he was just running for it.
Yeah. So, what are we going to do if we win?
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally what he said to his campaign manager.
That's crazy.
I think, dude, he's just on this like meth binge, dude. I'm telling you, that fool's just going crazy.
He
on
was
meth.
not on meth. He had his days of meth. He quit.
No, I do. not
Bro,
believe
he's
it.
on meth. Are you
He's
crazy?
100% meth.
Nope. Joe Exotic doesn't do meth.
Wait, do you have like a crush on Joe Exotic?
He didn't. He got targeted by Carol Baskin. That bitch killed her fucking husband. And
You know what
Doc, what?
The most impressive thing about this is somehow Joe Exotic gets these men, these young 18, 19-year-old men to marry them who are straight.
Well,
No,
they're
that's
meth
last
heads.
night.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Last guy was
I've
good.
heard of meth heads and drug addicts doing crazier things. I mean, shoot, we've seen people kill people.
Yeah, it's true.
Did anybody also just kind of get caught off guard when Doc Antle was fucking riding his goddamn elephant to the river?
Yeah.
First off, I was like, what the fuck? And then also, his fucking, was it like a black lab, was playing with the fucking elephant.
Did you guys?
And that weird fucking harem he has.
I know. What the hell? So I didn't even realize it. I was watching stuff from one of the members of his harem, Moksha. I can't remember how to say her name. It's a blonde lady with glasses, but she has like cute little like chimpanzee babies and all kinds of like animals and stuff, and she just like plays with them on YouTube. And
Oh, you've been watching that before all this went down?
yeah, before it all happened. But I just think that guy is so fucking weird, though.
You know, since 1989, he has 35 USDA violations for mistreating animals.
Doc Antle?
Yeah, and apparently he was on stage with Britney Spears in her performance of "I'm a Slave for You" in the 2001
with that snake?
MTV Video Music Awards.
Is it with that snake?
What?
I
Was
don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I feel
Wow.
like Doc was definitely the smartest out of everybody on that show, dude. He had everything to a book, everything to a T. He knew what to say, what not to say.
Yeah, I think if someone's gonna kill someone, it's that fool, dude.
Yeah.
He just would get away with it.
Can we
Dude.
also talk about how strange and how aggressive and how much of a con man Jeff Lowe is? The guy from Vegas?
Yeah,
Dude,
I was
same with
just
him.
about to
Like,
bring him up.
he's so fucking weird, dude. He has this weird style and like all these attractive women, which obviously comes from the money he has, but a very, very odd fella. But one of my, but he does introduce one of my very favorite shots in the whole show, which is the shot of that dude riding that jet ski. That was amazing.
I thought you were going to talk about when he says the coolest thing I've ever heard anybody say when he was standing up for Joe Exotic on that conference call. He's like, I'm pretty sure I woke up in a free fucking country so I can be on this call if I want to be. That was like the funniest thing. I laughed out loud when I heard that. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Dude, I gotta send this to you guys real quick too.
Okay.
So somebody took a side by side. What's his name? Jeff Lowe.
Jeff Lowe.
And Carol Baskin's first husband when she was 19. And if you look at the side by side pictures of her first husband and Jeff Lowe, they look identical, like the same fucking person. And there's like one guy made his little conspiracy theory that Carol actually hired him to take over the zoo, so then Joe would lose it, but then him being a con artist, hating her, then kind of flipped it on her and said, all right, fuck you.
Weird.
But dude, it's pretty crazy. I'll show you guys a picture real quick. You guys can keep talking about it. I'll send it to you and just tell me what you kind of think. But dude, it's fucking crazy.
So while you're looking for that, I did notice one thing that was super strange. And I know we're commenting on the way that Jeff Lowe was dressed, but I was like kind of taken back at an epiphany. What if they just had like some shitty, like loose sort of uniform or dress code? Because if you look at a photo, it looks as if the Joe Exotic and Jeff Lowe are a part of this like weird I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It almost looks like a dress code because they wear the same thing. They have like gross stringy hair. They wear a hat. They have a stupid mustache, and they wear like contrast stitched jeans. Dude, I swear to God, they both have the shittiest sense of style. Oh, and they both wore wraparound sunglasses and put them on their hats on like right on the bill. It's
Dude,
so
that's
weird.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
So,
I forgot that's how Jacob dresses.
What Jeff Lowe reminds me of is I used to watch Robin Big with Rob Dyrdek.
Oh my God.
Rob Dyrdek owns part of DC.
Shut up.
And I think he owns a majority of it. He helped found it.
Most of it. He's a founder.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
The funny thing is that's all like skater clothes. So his dad is obviously like an old guy, Rob Dyrdek's dad. But since Rob Dyrdek has like a drip basically for like all the DC clothes he could ever want, his dad has a whole outfit or a whole like all of his clothes are DC, but he wears them like an old man. So he'll be wearing like tied DC shoes with the DC shirt tucked into like cargo pants. And that's what that reminds me of. He like this guy has like this weird ass like coat with like Oakley flat brimmed hat and like a bandana, but he's like 60 years old. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I could see that, by the way. Maybe Carol Baskin. They definitely look alike, that's for sure.
Dude, but if you like, let me just point a couple things out that this other guy pointed out too. In the entire interview, he's wearing a bandana with his hat. First off, who the fuck does that unless you're hiding something? Which the guy was saying he's probably hiding his hairline because that could be one red flag. They have the exact same mustache line, same chin set. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Do you see it?
No, I haven't pulled it up yet.
Oh,
Carol Baskin's husband.
First husband, right?
First husband, yeah. Yeah, I know. I was trying to explain that to somebody. They're like, Carol Baskin's first husband is dead. I was like, no, he's not.
He's missing. He's legally dead, but I can see it. I mean, I can definitely see the resemblance, especially in their eyes and the way they're set apart.
I also love how he said that he didn't con Joe, and then like 40 minutes later, I think it could have been the same episode, or maybe it's the beginning of the next episode. He's like, "Oh, let me tell you how I got him." It's like you just claimed that you didn't con this guy, and now you're like telling us how you conned him.
Yeah.
This is what I honestly think happened. Okay, Joe Exotic is obviously a meth head, and so are all his friends.
Yeah.
What happened is as we know, and as it
Joe's an honest man.
Chronicles within the show, he definitely started to have a love for cats and such. When his brother died, he went really off the deep end, and that's when he opened that animal sanctuary under his brother's name. And then, basically, it was a lot of money being thrown around by a bunch of meth heads, and everything that happened after that was just a giant meth binge with tigers involved. That's what I think happened.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say you're probably not too far off.
There's a couple parts that, if you know anything about guns, you know that this whole fucking show is so sketch.
Yeah, pointing guns at everybody.
So scary. That one part where he aims a gun at the camera and then just points it up and fires. The part where he's just holding an AR and he's like, "This is the last cigarette I'm ever gonna smoke," and he's just holding a gun. And you're like, "Oh my god!"
Or when he's pulling up on an ATV and pulls out his Glock and points it at the camera guy.
Yeah, exactly.
With his hand on the trigger.
It was so cringe.
Or his finger.
Like, the whole thing. I'm surprised more people didn't get shot and killed. To be honest with you.
Or when he was shooting that BB gun, aiming it towards him, then pointing down on the ground and firing it. I was like, dude, what
Or
the fuck?
what about when Joe Exotic shot a fucking shotgun at the ground at Travis's mom? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and was shooting in the air too.
Yeah, that is fucking weird. I have kind of a fun exercise for you guys. So out of the entire cast of Tiger King, if you want to go to like IMDb and pull up the cast, find the strangest looking person out of that entire cast, and we'll compare notes because we'll compare our nominees for weirdest looking person, because I have a feeling that I have the weirdest looking person for sure.
No way.
Okay.
Cast. Let's see here.
And while you're doing that, I have another prediction here. I have the prediction that Joe Exotic will be one of the most popular Halloween costumes this coming Halloween.
I think you're right.
Because it's super easy and it's super recognizable. So, I don't know.
Forecast.
So,
Alan Glover, also the handyman who is
Yeah.
like a murderer. That guy's sketch as fuck.
yeah, he is.
We're looking for ugliest person?
The ugliest / strangest looking person.
Oh, dude.
I have the one.
Dude.
Alright, do you guys have it?
Find him, but I know who it is.
I know who I got.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Dennis Hill.
Dennis Hill. Let me go back and find him.
Here, I'll link him here too.
Dennis Hill.
I linked him in there.
Okay. I'm gonna link my guy in our Discord.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, of course, James.
Oh my god, that's the guy I picked.
Dude, who's
That's
fucking
the guy, bro. That's the guy who rides up on the fucking
the meme? Dude, he's the
yeah.
biggest meme right now.
Dennis Hill?
Yeah,
No,
dude.
James Garretson.
No, James Garrison has so many memes about him right now.
Oh
It's
man, I thought
fucking
mine was gonna be for sure. I was gonna be the only one. Fuck.
No, dude.
He's like a main. He's like a main character in the show.
Oh my god, he looks kind of like he looks kind of like a fat woman.
He looks like Chubb from what's it called? From Pawn Stars. Here he is.
I've- Chumley.
Yeah, Chumley.
Chubb. Have you guys ever seen the movie We're the Millers?
No.
No.
No? Okay, well there's a scene where he needs to pretend like he's a dad, and he like goes up to the haircut place. He's like, give me something that says I fucking hate my family, I hate my wife and kids, I wish I'd kill myself every single day and have a piss poor job at a cubicle, like just keeps going on. And then there's like a guy who's sitting down waiting, and the guy just like points to his haircut. That's exactly what that guy's fucking haircut is.
Jesus Christ, that guy is easily the ugliest person in. Because like everybody at least has a reason why they're ugly. This guy, I could just imagine he was just born ugly.
You wanna know what's funny? Oh, go for it.
The funny thing is, it says he's a local what does it say? A business owner?
Businessman?
Yeah.
Something?
Businessman.
But he runs a thrift shop with a lemur in it.
Yeah. That was really funny because when he was telling the producer about whatever his legal troubles were, he was like, "Yeah, I got some legal troubles because I have a lemur." And then he pans over literally a second later to see this lemur in a cage. I was imagining it be like, "Oh yeah, I have a lemur at the house," or "I have a lemur like in a cage like somewhere else," but not immediately like within the confines of my store.
The best thing about this whole show is James Garretson put all these cogs in motion with the FBI and became like undercover and tried to close down Joe, and it was all because he owned a lemur. He did not want to get in trouble for this lemur he owned.
Yeah. Dude,
You guys are laughing. You guys realize he gets more pussy than all of us.
He said that.
Dude, he owns a fucking strip club.
Well, he
Is that what he
did.
owns?
He did.
Yeah, he owns... No, I think he still owns it. Strip club and a bar.
Mm.
Said he owned like 3 strip clubs.
Weird. Look at this fool in his haircut, though.
Oh, dude, he's so fucking cool. He thought he was so badass when he was filming that scene. He's like, I'm gonna make copies of this and put it on a CD. I'm gonna give it to him for Christmas.
Jacob, do you ever watch Linus Tech Tips?
All the time.
Dude, that looks just like the guy from Linus Tech Tips, the fat guy.
Which? Oh, they're like quiet, shy one. Yeah, it does. The one that
Let
like,
me see if I can...
dude, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, here he is. His name's Anthony.
I just typed in "fat guy Linus Tech Tips." Boom, popped up instantly right here. Oh my god, dude, that's his fucking twin brother.
When I was watching that, and when I saw that, I was like, dang, dude, that looks just like the guy from Linus Tech Tips. They look a lot alike. It's like a Linus Tech Tips guy has like maybe less hair or something.
No, they have equal hair. Dude, their hair is exactly the same. Did you click on that, Jay?
No, I haven't. Did you link it?
Yeah. Oh.
It does look like him. Every time I saw that guy in that show, I was like,
dude, that's him.
Maybe the
Let's
same
see.
guy.
It looks pretty damn close.
Okay, no, look at this one. This one that I just posted. It is 110% the same person.
Okay.
See that?
Okay, maybe this is all just like a thing. This
Carol fucking Baskin did this. I know she did.
You know what's really sad though is there's a good chance she didn't, and her like whole career is being destroyed.
Dude,
maybe.
Dude, her motives don't even make sense. She wants like nobody to own a fucking cat, tiger, anything, and she owns them. She lies about how many she has. She clearly doesn't have a proper facility to treat her tigers. She doesn't pay anybody to feed them. She has people who volunteer and do it for free. Like, I don't know, man.
All right.
Seems more...
that's how most wildlife refuges work, including the zoo.
Okay, wait. Can the admins agree on one thing? Sorry, Jacob, you can't agree on this.
I can still disconnect you from the server, by the way.
Everybody in this documentary, they're total jackasses and total con men and women.
Yeah.
They're all flawed in some way. I mean, aren't we all? But like, they're extremely flawed.
Every single person in the whole documentary is a varying degree of asshole.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the biggest pussy in the entire
Jacob?
Show?
Oh, in the show?
Yeah, not this podcast. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
What do you mean by biggest pussy? Like like wimp?
Like, okay, mine is Carol's husband. Like,
Howard?
Did you see their? Yeah, Howard, dude. He would like bend down, like get on his hands and knees and kiss Carol's feet if she told him to.
There's literally a picture of him in a fucking collar.
Yeah, acting like a lion.
Yeah.
Dude, he's such God, and like he's like, this is not acceptable. Blah blah blah. I just can't even believe it. But I feel like his only role in the entire show is just to reiterate what Carol says. Like, he doesn't have his own voice or opinion. He's like, yeah, I agree with Carol. They need to go to jail. Like, okay.
Yeah, I think that maybe second in command, pussy-wise, would be the guy his name's J.P. Wilson. He's the guy, the magician who showed Joe Exoticus tricks.
You mean Pussy Destroyer?
Yeah.
Dude, that 8-year-old knew. 10
like,
years
this
from
is
now.
my time.
Yeah.
10 years from now, I'll be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Did you did you know that Joe actually had a husband prior to that? His first quote unquote husband.
Yeah, he died of AIDS.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Isn't that crazy?
So they probably have AIDS too. I mean, it's very likely.
Maybe.
But whatever.
Maybe they practice safe sex.
What would you guys rate this?
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so I had to rewatch it. It was mainly because when I tried to watch it for the first time, the first like 3 or 4 episodes were just, they kept like sliding to the background. They weren't interesting enough for me. I feel like the documentary really picked up steam around like the second half, towards the end, maybe the second third of the documentary series. So if I had to give it a grade based off of that, just because it wasn't so captivating at first, I'd give it like a C+ to B-. Because I've seen so much better documentaries than this. Like, I know that we keep bringing this one up, but like Tickle on HBO, that one, it was not as long. And I feel like the other thing too, Tiger King, it was 7 episodes just to be 7 episodes. The whole thing could have been done in maybe like 2 to 3 episodes. Really, honestly.
No.
Yeah.
No. Maybe 2 or 3 2-hour-long episodes.
No. Just 2 or 3 episodes.
I disagree. I think there's a lot of content there, and there's a lot of shit that happened. And it was, I mean, the cool thing was they were with them like 5 years prior, all the way up to now. I think that I thought the pacing was actually really good. I felt like at the end of every episode, I was like, dang, dude, I want to see what happens next. I gave it We're gonna say a B. I thought it was captivating. It's worth talking about.
The
It's worth
whole
watching.
thing?
What?
The whole thing was captivating for you?
Yeah, the whole thing was captivating. I thought everything from the magician parts to the part where the FBI came into the picture, to the beginning where he was like opening the park, and I thought that it did a decent job. I thought the part where he basically has a reality show about him that's just burnt down was like super like, whoa, holy shit, you know? So yes, I thought it was good. What about you, Jacob?
I'm just gonna say, me personally, I would probably watch it again actually, and I usually don't rewatch stuff. I'm pretty lame like that. It was definitely, if I had to put it on Mr. J and Scott's scale, A plus. And
you're gonna use our scale, but you're either using A pluses or Fs.
Yep. And one other thing too is, if you're watching this, or if you decide to watch this after this podcast and you agree that Carol didn't do it, go get a fucking life. And she did it. Okay.
Wait, she
I
did
know
it?
she did it. She killed her husband.
No, there's a seed of doubt, but I'm pretty sure she did it.
No, dude. Yeah. I'm with Joe, dude. I've watched all the music videos by this point. Oh, fun fact too. Did you know that Joe didn't write or sing any of those songs?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely not the singer.
Definitely not his voice.
Yeah. And then when
Who
he was trying to
actually
sing
wrote
along, apparently one of the songs was just one of this guy's dad's songs, and everybody's talking about Tiger King, so he's like, all right, I'll watch it. And he said it was crazy because his dad, who had passed away, his song was playing, and he never knew that Joe remade the song, or like just sang or paid whatever for the song. Probably didn't pay his
paid the
dad.
royalties.
But yeah, I don't think he even had royalties. Dude, Joe seems like the guy that would just do it. Didn't care about it. And he said it was crazy because his dad's song was playing on the show, and he just was mind blown.
The voice is a gentleman named Danny Clinton, and he's the one who actually sings the song. He's technically the biological son of Bill Clinton.
Oh.
Weird.
Oh, and also the Carol Baskin lookalike was fucking phenomenal. I thought that part was just amazing.
Yeah, dude, he's just holding that shit in his hand. He's like, come on, let's do it. This shit's in my hand. It stinks.
Oh, I just thought that, dude, if you were to take Carol Baskin and that lookalike and, mix them up, I couldn't tell which one was which.
For a second, I was like, damn, they got Carol Baskin for this?
Exactly, dude. I was like, I thought they hated each other. And then he's like, we got a lookalike. I was like, holy fuck. No, you didn't get a lookalike. You got her fucking either identical twin or you cloned that bitch.
Cloned her?
You know what's funny is that one day I was sitting in my living room and it was quiet, and all of a sudden I heard the song I Saw Tiger and Tiger Saw Me, or Tiger Saw Man, or whatever it's called. It was playing upstairs. My neighbor was watching Tiger King, and I instantly recognized that tune.
That's awesome.
Did you start singing along?
I saw Tiger, and Tiger saw Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stop. You're turning me on.
Sorry.
You know how Scott loves country.
Do you guys have anything else that you guys want to talk about with Tiger King?
No.
Nope.
Well, all right. Well, then that's it.
Oh, yeah. One more thing.
Okay.
Carol Baskin did it. All right.
Okay, cool. All
right.
right.
Continue.
Shout-outs?
All right. Do you guys just want to stop there? That's fine with me.
Well, yeah.
Or do you want to touch on the PS5 controller super quick?
Oh, I guess we didn't do news. There's actually a lot of news.
We actually didn't do anything. We didn't do news, we didn't do monthly games, and we didn't do PS5.
Okay, let's run through this really fast. Jacob, talk about the PS5 controller, please.
It's white.
Mm-hmm.
It has some buttons on the side. If I'm going to be honest, you guys sent it to me, and I saw the little picture, but I didn't actually read it.
All right. The PlayStation 5 controller is a DualSense controller, it's called, which is interesting. And it looks like an exact, if a Xbox controller and a PlayStation controller had a baby, it would be that. It has a built-in mic, which is interesting. It has the new haptic feedback triggers, which are supposed to be really cool. Apparently has a new style of vibration. It just doesn't vibrate. It can do all sorts of different things, which are supposed to be cool. Instead of having a share button, it has what they're calling a create button. The one interesting thing I noticed about the buttons as well is they're clear. The buttons look to be clear, like a clear plastic, which is kind of cool. It definitely looks really nice, and I will say it has an internal battery, which Xbox still hasn't caught on to after fucking 3 console generations.
That's so stupid.
USB-C, of course, but I think it looks pretty cool. I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like, and how it's gonna like feel in your hands. It's a bigger controller, and they've admitted to that. They said they felt like it is a larger controller, but it's a better one.
Can I also just say something? I kind of felt like the kid in the class right there that gets called on because he knows he wasn't paying attention.
That wasn't my intention. I really thought that you knew about it. And actually, you know what? This was going to spark a debate between Scott and I, because you actually had a question about controllers versus PS5 or PS4 versus Xbox One, right?
Yeah. You guys ready for it?
Yeah.
Scott's mic's about to go. It's gonna blow up.
Okay.
So before the podcast had started, they were talking about the controller, and I brought up. I said, "Hey, do you think that the Xbox controller is better for FPS games because it has a more trigger-like trigger on it as opposed to PlayStation's just flat baseboard?" And I guess Scott, do you want to give your opinion?
So
That's
first,
wrong.
the answer to the question is do you think that the Xbox is a better controller because it's more trigger-like? And I'll say no. It's definitely not better because it's more trigger-like. I would say that if you really had to compare them both trigger-wise, like which one's more of a like feels like the trigger of a gun, it's really subjective. Like there's a lot of different feels into a lot of different guns, trigger feels. I don't think it's an advantage, but I will concede that the Xbox controller is, I guess, closer to a gun than
It is.
than the PlayStation one.
Okay, so let me give you the real answer. Yes, it is definitely more like a gun. I'm not talking about like an actual, like, I'm going to shoot you with a bullet gun, because a gun could be anything. It could be a BB gun, it could be an airsoft gun, it could be an actual like bullet gun. It has a click to it, so you know once the trigger is engaged, versus the PS4, which is baseboard, you don't know when, you just have to mash down the button. So that's why it would be more advantageous, I would assume, for a FPS game. That was my answer. Are you saying
it has a click? It doesn't have it has a click that it hits the end of its travel, is what you're saying?
It has a click to indicate when it's engaged.
I don't remember that click.
There's a light
click.
click.
My Xbox
There's a light click.
controller.
Yeah.
I will say that I maybe Jay will agree with me. I don't think it's an advantage.
I don't agree with you, because I do think it's an advantage.
You think it's an advantage to have that click? So
Yes.
like a person with the Xbox, why?
Even though I like the PlayStation controller way more, I think that the advantage lies in the click, because you know when it's engaged. Whereas like with the PlayStation controller, you have to mash down to make sure that it's actually been engaged. Because if you just lightly tap on it, then how the hell are you supposed to know that the button's actually pressed? You know, like what if
if you're watching your screen, your gun goes off.
Yeah. Whereas like if I'm not watching my screen and like I'm doing like a million other things, or I'm looking at like my map or something like that, then I would know by the click.
One thing I will definitely say is, I don't know if it's an advantage. I think we'll agree to disagree on that. But I will say that the triggers on a Xbox are definitely better because they have that vibration and those motors and stuff. Like when you're driving a car game, the Xbox controllers definitely feel a lot better than the PlayStation controllers.
I think there's also like more tension and resistance on the Xbox controller, which is, I feel like it's a bit nicer. I hate the shape of it, because I like the PlayStation controller, and I would take the shape of the PlayStation controller over the clickiness or the feedback from the Xbox controller any day.
I always felt like I was going to snap the trigger off of a PlayStation controller. Just because it was like, I just feel like how the trigger on the Xbox controllers goes more into, like if you pulled down the trigger, it'd be flush with the plastic parting on it.
Uh-huh.
Where the PlayStation ones are just kind of like two like
Hanging.
flat boards. That yeah. So that was it for me. I was just like, I don't know, I didn't really like that.
So I think that based on what I'm reading, and again, this could all be like marketing bullshit, but the PlayStation controller looks like it's going to remedy its L2 and R2. They're definitely going to be a lot better. There's a couple of other things that I would like to note on here. We have a color scheme of black and white. Usually, the console matches the controller in color scheme. So I think there's a good chance that the PlayStation will have white in it in some way, or maybe it'll all be white with some black. I'm not 100% sure.
Or maybe there's two versions.
Yeah, and that could be. The other notable thing is that the color bar has been moved to the top or the front, and that's notable because of PlayStation VR. So it looks like maybe they want more tracking on the controller for PlayStation VR. And the last thing that I like about the PlayStation controller, the Xbox doesn't have at all, is the touchpad. I think the touchpad isn't always used necessarily, but it's definitely cool to have.
I've never used it.
Really?
I literally have never used it unless I'm using it as a button. I've never used it for the touch.
You can use it as a mouse if
I've
you're
never
ever
done that.
typing.
I've never done that.
But it doesn't hurt to have it, is what I'm saying. I think it has potential.
It might cost more to have it, though.
But the controllers are the same price. The PlayStation controller is the same price as an Xbox controller.
Okay, but
Yeah,
why
but
why
Xbox is
why
better.
invest more money in a touchpad where you can invest money into a larger battery, for example, or a clickier trigger, or better ergonomics, or better rubber on the thumbsticks? Like, again, I think it's one of those things that is unnecessary and would probably cost more to.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
You remember on laptops how in the middle of the keyboard there would be that little mouse
The nub.
button,
Yeah.
the nub. It's
Yeah.
like having one of those on a laptop
ThinkPad.
in 2020.
I think those are like IBM ThinkPads or whatever.
Yeah, it's like having that, and then you also had your trackpad under. It's like, what's the point of putting
Right.
this if you already have something that's better?
Yeah.
Some people like
Or
that one more.
Well, yeah, but it's I don't know. To me, it's like you're going backwards.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I hope that I didn't really like the sticks on a PlayStation. I like the location, but I felt like the sticks are a little like my fingers would slip off them. So I hope that's a little better this time. But I will say I think the controller looks really cool, but I have to have it like in my hands. The PlayStation 4 controller is, in my opinion, like the most comfortable controller I've ever used. So it should be interesting to see this. I'm really glad they're bringing USB-C. I think that's
Oh,
really nice that someone's doing it, and it actually is internal battery, which is cool as well.
dude, I think it's crazy that people don't use USB-C. I just bought this new. Okay, well, the mic's obviously not that good on this headset, but this headset was like $250, and it came out in 2019, and it doesn't have USB-C, and I'm just like, it blows my mind that like most computer tech doesn't have USB-C. It's all micro USB still.
That is weird.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, I know. You think that they'd hop on it first? It goes in both ways. It's charges faster. It's just like better all around. It's the new universal charger, and they still don't put it in their equipment, or they'll put it in there and then it'll charge more because this one has USB-C.
And then Jay just posted that they have the controller photoshopped black. It looks pretty cool. They have a Photoshop one that's photoshopped gray as well, like the 25th anniversary, like the PlayStation 1 gray, which looked really cool.
Well, they also revealed that there was concept art for the box. So this leads me to believe that this might not actually be like a Photoshop. I think it actually might be a semi-official render of the other colorway of this controller. So the box art for the PlayStation 5 does show a black PlayStation. So
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards this will have two color options for maybe at least the controller, obviously, but maybe even for the console.
And I'm sure we'll see some special editions and all this other bullshit. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll have. Just
All
like
right.
always.
Let's do free games real quick. Scotty, you want to do games with gold or PlayStation?
I'll do games with gold this time. We
Cool.
have just another just amazing lineup. Just kidding, it's not. Apparently, it's $132.46 worth of value, with the games being Project Cars 2 at a $59.99 value, Knights of Pen and Paper at a $22.49 value. Those are your Xbox One games. Your 360 games are going to be Fable Anniversary and Toy Box Turbo. Pretty much all those games are not
Shitty.
impressive to me. Shitty, yeah. Not a single game in there I'd probably even download.
Yeah, I didn't look twice at any of them. They looked pretty terrible, but I'm sure Jackson will tell us that he's played them and he loves them all. But you know what?
I love indie games.
Well, here's the thing, though. Jackson will approach anything completely unbiased, where I completely respect that, because I need to take a page out of that book. I don't do that. I need to start doing that. With that being said, I'm going to go over the superior free games program, which is PlayStation Plus free games. I think it was like a few months ago, PlayStation gave out Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. Well, now they've given Uncharted 4 Thief's End for free in April, along with Dirt Rally 2.0. So if you like racing games, I feel like PlayStation's given out a lot of racing games, if I'm not mistaken. That one's kind of a bummer. But if you're into Uncharted 4, go for it. Give it a download.
Let me just say that I didn't play any of the earlier Uncharted games. Like, I never got into them. On a whim, I was like, I think I was just on Redbox or something. I was like, dude, I want to try Uncharted 4. Like, it looks kind of cool. I gave that game like a 9.0. Very, very good. And there's a lot of people who give it a 10 out of 10. It's a very, very good looking story game. And worth the download for sure if you want a fun game, especially for quarantine.
Hey, speaking of quarantine, a little piece of news here. Google Stadia is giving away 2 months free of their Stadia Pro. So, yeah, if you want to know what the hoopla is about for Stadia Pro, they are giving you the first 2 months for free. You can opt out of the subscription anytime. You go to stadia.com and you sign up. You can download the Stadia on Android or iOS. You can play on anything, essentially. The other thing that's interesting too is that they give you like 9 games to play with the Stadia subscription. So give it a go if you're interested. But they lost me, dude.
Yeah, I'm not interested, really.
Yeah.
The one last thing I will say before we close out, and one thing I just wanted to share with you guys because I thought it was interesting. I've been kind of excited about Final Fantasy VII. I played Final Fantasy VII like years ago, and I beat the game and everything. I think my first playthrough took like 60 or 70 hours to beat the game, and I definitely didn't do everything. This is the old one, of course. So I've been watching all the trailers and such for the new one, and all of them took place at the beginning of the game, the first probably 3 hours. And I was like, damn, dude, this, looks pretty good, but, I want to see the rest of the game. I'm excited for, like, the Golden Saucer, which is like a theme park in the game. I'm excited for all these moments. Cosmo Canyon. There's all these moments I remember within the first game. And I was watching a review for it, and they said that the whole Final Fantasy VII Remake takes place basically in the first 3 hours of what the original Final Fantasy VII was. And I was like, the whole game takes place in the slums, like, not interested. Apparently they're going to make more, but still, I was like, dang, totally uninterested at this point. So I just wanted to share that before we close out.
Nice.
Shoutouts.
Jacob, you go first.
Shout out to Joe Exotic. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to Kylie, Axel. Shout out to Kai, Jax, DC, and my main man, Mr. Henny. That's it.
Cool.
Closed.
Shout out to Raven, Kat, Patrick. Shout out to all our great listeners out there. Thank you so much. My wife, and if I missed you, Robbie. If I missed you, I'm sorry. And of course, Jay Henny, and yeah.
All right. Shout out Javad, Patricia, Jacob's mom, Ben's mom. Shout out to Panda. Shout out to Katie. And shout out to Adolf and Delbert. Hope you guys are still listening. And that's it.
Yeah, and also Kevin, aka Mr. Lonely. Thanks.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you on the flippity flap.
Okay, laters.
Peace.